Hey guys, okay, so today I need for you to go to page 6 in your note packet. And I'm going to do the first example with you. So A equals 1, because it's the number in front of that, B equals 4, and C equals negative 32. First thing, we know that this is going to go up because my A value is positive. That means it's also a minimum, okay? If my A value is negative, it would be going down. Now I'm going to do negative b over 2a to find my vertex. So that would be negative 4 over 2 times 1, which gives me negative 2. So my vertex is at negative 2. To find my y value at the vertex, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. So I'm going to do negative 2 squared, which is 4. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8, and then minus 32. If I put that into my calculator or do the math, I get negative 36 for my y value. Now that I found the x and the y value, I can use that as my middle point in my table. I'm going to go 2 less, and I'm going to go 2 greater. Okay? So I'm going to plug in 0. 0 squared is 0. That's 0. That gives me negative 32. I'm going to plug in negative 1. Negative 1 is 1. That's negative 4, and that's negative 32. So that would be a negative 35. When I plug in negative 3, I get negative 35 also. And when I plug in negative 4, I get negative 32. Now this one is completely off the graph, right? So I'm not actually going to have you graph this one. Examples 2, 3, and 4 you are going to graph because those are going to be on here. My AOS is an x equals line. Remember, it's x equals whatever your x at the vertex is. So it'd be x equals negative 2. Domain is always negative infinity to infinity. How we write that in the Chromebook is parentheses negative INF, comma INF, parentheses. Range is your lowest y value and up, or your lowest y value and down. Since this is a minimum, this graph is going up, so it'd be your lowest y value, which is negative 36. That gets a bracket, and it goes up to infinity, and that gets a parenthesis. Again, I'm not going to have you do x-intercept and y-intercept on this guy because it's completely off the graph. Going on to number 2, A value on this guy is 1, B value is 0, and C value is negative 4. So this guy's going to be going up because A value is positive. That means it's a minimum. I'm going to do negative 0 over 2 times 1. All my pens are going out. Okay, so negative 0 over 2 is just 0, because 0 divided by anything is 0. So my vertex is at 0. That means my AOS is at x equals 0. Domain is always parenthesis negative INF, comma INF. Okay, so domain, AOS, all that. So vertex, to get my y value at the vertex, I need to plug this back in. 0 squared is 0, minus 4 is negative 4. That allows me to do the xy table. 2 less, 2 more. I'm going to plug in 1. 1 squared is 1, 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 2 squared is 4, minus 4 is 0. Negative 1 squared is 1, minus 4 is negative 3. Negative 2 squared is 4, minus 4 is 0. So I have a point at negative 2, 0. I know that the coordinate grid is hard to see to graph, guys, so I apologize. This is down here at 3. This is down here at 4. And then I'm going to mirror image. Okay. To find the x and y intercepts. So I have 2 x-intercepts, because that's where it crosses the x line. They are at those points 2, 0. And negative 2, 0. If you notice, an x-intercept will always have a y value of 0. A y-intercept is where it crosses the y line, so your x number is always 0. So if I look here, it's 0, negative 4. It's my vertex. The range on this guy is going up, so I have a bottom point, and it's your bottom y value. So it starts at negative 4. That gets a bracket, and it goes up to infinity. That gets a parenthesis. So what you're going to do now, after watching that and after me going through it, you're going to use that information along with all the other information that we've gone through in this unit. And you are going to complete number 3 and number 4 But when you complete those, I also want for you to find the AOS. I also want you to find the domain. And I also want you to find the range on all of them. Okay? Then, when you are finished with that, you're going to go over to Schoology. There's not a new assignment in Schoology. However, you need to complete any missing assignment or any assignment that has an 8 out of 10 or lower. So, vast majority, 90% of you guys will have Schoology homework to work on because a vast majority have at least one assignment that's an 8 out of 10 or lower or a missing assignment. And that's what you need to do for the rest of today, and then what you need to walk in with this completed tomorrow. If you have any questions, email me, and I'll try to respond. I won't be able to respond during class time, but I can try to respond at some point. And I think that's all. Thanks, guys.